Welcome back. Getting into our third data type, that is list. Lists are used to store multiple items in a single variable. Now, what I meant by this is if you want to store a bunch of variables, or if you want to create a normal list or a shopping list or anything that is regarded to store out different variables, okay, then you can use out a list. Lists are ordered, so indexing is also possible in it. If indexing is there, then you can also slice it up. It is also changeable, unlike we looked into strings. If it is indexing, we weren't able to change it up, okay, but in list you can change it up. It also allows duplicate values. So 3 points to highlight it out in this is duplicate values are allowed, it is ordered, changeable, and also it allows indexing and slicing. Now, lists are written and created just by using a square braces. So if you want to create an empty list, so I can just write my list, that is my lst, equal to, and if you want to create an empty list, you can just write square brackets without anything inside of it. If you want to add any values, you can just write out like this. Over here in this example, I am having an example of my fruits. My fruits is the name of, or it is a variable name, which is a list which is having four items, that is strawberry, mango, apple, and orange. Now let's jump into Jupyter Notebook and apply whatever we got from the theoretical aspect of it. Over here right now, I am in a fresh Jupyter Notebook page. First of all, I'm going to start with renaming it to list. Now, as we have seen in the presentation lecture or in the theoretical section, that to create an empty list, it's quite simple. I just have to name my list, that is my list is equal to, and with two square brackets. This is how we can create an empty list. If I want to print out my empty list, that is my lst, you can see that it is quite empty right now. Now let's start with creating a list of numbers. So I'm going to name it as my numbers equal to, in square brackets, I'm going to write out my numbers. So my lucky number is 29. I'm going to add some more numbers: 23, 45, 12, 34. Okay. Now if I print out my numbers successfully, you can see that this is what a list I have created out. So this is a list of numbers. So my names, I'm going to create one more, my names, and I'm going to write names of some of my friend, that is Arun, Mahesh, and then maybe Pushpa, quite an old name. Okay, so all of these are strings. So this is a list of strings. If I check out my names, that is Arun, Mahesh, and Pushpa. Okay. One of the things that we have looked or discussed upon, that strings or list can be of any object type. Okay, you can create a list of different object types. Okay. So let's create a mixed list. What I mean by mixed one is, I want a list with numbers, that is 1, and also with string values, that is Arun, then again a 2, and I'm gonna write Paul, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, again some numbers or some fruits. Okay, that's it. If I want to check it out, you can check out whatever my list is. So a list is nothing but a sequence of objects. Okay, and an object can be anything, everything in Python is regarded as an object. An object can be a list, and it can be a number, it can be a floating point number. Let me change it to a floating point number, and then also a negative number for the usage, and check it out. So object can be anything: float, string, numbers, complex numbers, or else it also can be a list. We are going to look into nested list later, but this is a quick intro about list. Now we are going to start with indexing. in list. Just as we looked into strings, we could index our list too. So it will again start from 0 and end at whatever the length of it is. Now how to check the length of it? It's quite simple, len, and first of all I'm going to check it for my names. You can see that I have almost 10 values, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 and 10. So I have 10 values, so the length of my names is 10. Now if I want to index it out, so let's create a new string or a new list. My fruits, I'm gonna write some of my favorite foods, that is mango, again a strawberry, let's say dates, I like dates, and let's keep out orange for now, and apple a day keeps doctor away. Okay, so I have created out my fruits: mango, strawberry, dates, orange, and apple. Right now, I want to index it. As you could see that in strings, we were starting from index number 0. The same thing happens over here. My fruits, and inside of it, I am gonna write. Let's say I want in 0. So at index number 0, that is the first index, I am having my fruits. That is I'm having mango. Same thing if I check for some different index. So I want to check it for 3. Delete this typo. So at 3 I am having orange. So it starts from 0, 1, 2 and 3. Okay. Same thing, you can move on from the right hand side also. My fruits, and I'm gonna do -1. Oops, typo. I will get out the last value. Same thing, my fruits, there's a typo, make sure you're writing the same thing. Okay, so I'm getting what? I'm getting strawberry. So -1, -2, -3 and -4. Okay. Now the next thing that we are going to look is slicing. Now what I meant by slicing, the same thing that we have looked into strings. In strings we could slice out a part of it. Now in list also, if you want a list out of a list, okay, let's say out of this 5 things I want the first 3. So what I can do is, let's display out my fruits first, and now write my fruits. I'll start out again from 0 and end at 4. Sorry, and at 3, at it starts from index 0. So from 0, 1, 2 and 3. Okay, before 3 whatever is there I want to print it out, so I can just get out from this. If you want to store it into a new list, you can just do the assignment operation, and if you want to check new list, you can successfully check it out. Okay, that is how you can break things out, and it will be quite easier also. Now again, let's look into one more example, my fruits, and inside my fruits I'm going to start with 3 and I'm going to end at -1. Okay. Now what exactly is happening over here? List indices must be integer or slices, not tuples. Okay, so there's a comma, let me change this. So you can see from 3 if I start, that is mango, 1 2 3, and after 3 whatever is there, so I'm having orange. Okay, after 3 I'm having orange, and before -1 I'm again having the orange thing. So we are just displaying out orange over here. Okay, if you want to change it to 0, okay, you will be getting everything except the last one. So that's all about uh, string indexing and slicing. Now we are going to look into how to add out new values into it. So one of the ways to add out new values into it, let's say I am having my fruits. Okay, so now I'm going to add out some new values in this. My fruits plus and whatever values you want to add. So let's add something new, banana. Okay, banana. So probably there's an error over here because I cannot concatenate a list. uh, I cannot concatenate a string to a list, so I can only concatenate a list to list. So I will just convert it to a list by putting it into square brackets. Okay. So successfully I have added my fruits in my fruits list, one more item, that is banana. Now if I check my fruits, it won't be updated. Why? It's because we have not assigned it back to my fruits. Now to make the changes, what I can do is I will just assign it back to my fruits. Now if I check my fruits, you can see that I am having all the new way, the new list object that I want, that is banana. That is how you can add out new values into this. Now if you want to multiply your list, that is my fruits twice, if I multiply it by 2, you will get all the values twice of it. Okay, these are quite some of the tricks that are available in list. And you can also reverse the list if you want. So I have my fruits, and inside this I'm just gonna write -1. So successfully whatever the actual format was, if I check my fruits, so it has been just reversed by writing 2 colon and then -1. That is how we can reverse out a string. That's it for this session. In our next session, we are going to jump into list methods.